Hi, I'm Mama Steph, and this is Thriving Through Motherhood. Thanks for joining me today. I am a mama of four and a pediatric occupational therapist, and I work with moms to help bring more calm and connection into their homes. Today, I'm talking about sibling competition, sibling rivalry. In our house, there were a few years where my oldest three, who are very close in age, would fight over and compete over everything. Everything became a race, everything became a competition. And as a mom, I'm sure you know, when your kids are competing, there's never a winner. Somebody always loses and ends up in tears, or the loser ends up fighting the winner and then they end up in tears, but it's never a winning situation for anyone. It would drive me crazy. It was like this all of the time. And I remember one time in particular, I had taken the kids to my parents because personally I was going through a difficult time and I needed some extra support, and went there to kind of get some help with the kids. When it was time to go, it was time to get in the car to leave after being there for a few days. The kids were racing and arguing and not getting in the car, arguing about who was sitting where in the car. And I looked at my parents and thought, I've been here for some help, and now this is what I'm getting in the car to do, to go through and negotiate and settle another argument over another competition. And I remember my dad saying to me, why do they make everything a competition? Like, why do they think life is a competition? And at the time I kind of dismissed it like, yep, this is what it is. This is what it looks like. I don't know. But it really stuck with me because I realized I'm one of four. I work in pediatrics, so I was around a ton of kids. I've been around a ton of kids, a ton of siblings. And this just seemed extreme to me. It seemed like every time my kids interacted, it was a competition. And so I started to look into information and resources about sibling rivalry, how to help kids stop making everything into a competition. What I learned was that it's very simple. Siblings compete for their mother's love and attention. Of course, right? It's always on the mom. And like I said, I was going through something, just a challenging time personally. So at the time, great. One more thing, I'm not loving my kids enough. I'm not showing up for them and giving them enough attention. Now what? Well, we can do a few things. I can sit in victim mode and sorrow and just think, this is just the way it's going to be. I'm never going to be good enough. I'm never going to be able to show my kids the love that they need. I can blame them. Why can't they just listen? Why can't they just get along? Why can't they know that I love them? All of the things. But with the work I was doing in that time, and with the work that I know and what I understood from a deeper level, was that I had to show up for myself with love first and give myself the love and attention that I needed before I could show up for them. You know, I'm sure we've all heard that you have to love yourself first, right? Like, you can't love anyone before you love yourself. And that sounds like, all right, like I can love you. I don't have to love myself the same. But it's true. We can't give what we don't have. When we don't know how to show up with love for ourselves, with like that true, unconditional, authentic, healthy love for ourselves, we're not able to give it to anyone else in that true, authentic, connected way. And so we really have to learn to give it to ourselves first. And I'm sure if you're following, maybe you've made this connection already, but it probably won't come to a surprise to you when I tell you that as I learned to love myself, my kids stopped competing. They didn't stop completely, they didn't stop fighting, but not everything was a competition. It sounds ridiculous even when I say it because I love myself and now my kids stop fighting. I get it. But here's the thing, when we start to love ourselves, when we start showing up for ourselves and listening to our own wants and needs, it's nurturing to our spirit. It's nurturing to us. And then when we are nurtured and loved, we feel secure and connected. It allows us to be open to others around us in a secure and connected way too. And so what happens is it creates a calming effect for our kids because now our kids have this secure connection with us and they know there's plenty of it to go around, that they don't need to compete for mommy's love. I learned the hard way that when I was really struggling and having a hard day, if I would tell the kids that I was struggling and having a hard day, it was like this emergency siren went off. If I only had a little bit left, they would like try and steal the rest of my energy. So if my battery had 5% left, everyone would see I was running out and quickly try to take everything they could out of me so that they had what they needed. When in fact, if we step back from that and look at, if I had told them that I needed that and they actually gave me the space to refill, I would have had plenty and excess to show up for them, to fill them up. But that was part of the problem too. I kept filling them up and they kept looking for me to fill them up. What I needed to do was I needed to model for them how to fill up their own energy tank instead of looking for other people to fill up their energy tank. And I needed to create a boundary for myself so that they couldn't take my energy anymore. I could still show up for them with my love and my attention and my energy, but it was in a healthy way of me offering it to them, not of them taking it from me. So now I'm helping them to find their own strategies in order to regulate their own ways to fill their own tanks. They're learning how to get their own needs met, not from a place of selfishness from me because I don't want to do it for them, but truly from a place of love so they don't need to rely on someone else now or down the line. I had to do a lot of work on my own codependent relationship. I learned how to stop seeking external validation and stop relying on other people's attention and having my needs met by a specific person. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't need relationships and I don't need people to support me. It means I am able to encourage, support, and love myself and validate myself. And it means I can show up healthy and as a whole person inside of my relationships. And now the relationships that I have enrich my life instead of make or break my life. Taking better care of myself and learning how to do these things has been extremely impactful in my own life as a mom. My kids still have competitions, but it's no longer over every little thing. My kids know I love them. They feel loved. They are each learning about their own individual needs and ways to regulate in age-appropriate ways while they watch me model doing it for myself. Modeling for our kids is the best way that they can learn. If you want your kids to grow up joyful, grateful, connected, and authentic in their lives, then the best thing that you can do is show up for them as the most joyful, grateful, connected, and authentic version of yourself. Mama, I hope you are able to find some time today to give yourself a little bit of love. There are so many resources and people, including myself, that are available to help you learn how to do this. You are an amazing mama, doing an amazing job. Ask for what you need. Know I'm here to support you. And until next time, I am sending you lots of love, Mama. Mwah.